Hello mappers, modders, and everyone in between, and welcome to Portal Mapping and Modding's first ever monthly spotlight. My name's Ashley Anna, and I'll be your host for this introduction section. Before we get started, I'd like to give you a breakdown of what you're getting into. Every monthly spotlight is split into 3 segments: the workshop window, SourceTools and Stuff, and Mod Direct. The workshop window is my segment, where I'll be showing you maps posted on the workshop in the past month that we believe are interesting, cool, or unique. Beginner maps, expert maps, everyone has a chance to be spotlit in this segment, so keep an eye out. SourceTools and Stuff is the second segment, hosted by tools expert and programmer Orsell. He'll be running you down on any updates, releases, or cool information regarding external tools outside of the built-in Hammer engine, such as VTF Edit. If you want to expand your knowledge past the bounds of Hammer, this is the segment for you. Our final segment, Mod Direct, is exactly what it sounds like. Hosted by mod developer and mapping expert Hazel, Mod Direct will give you news and updates on a plethora of mods within the Portal modding community. In addition, she will also present our specially chosen Mod of the Month, in which one project will be spotlit and given its very own chance to shine. Stick around to see which project will receive our January Mod of the Month. With that, I thank you for joining us, and welcome to the monthly spotlight. Hello everyone, it's Ash again. I'm here to present our first segment, the workshop window. In this segment, I'll be showing you 3 to 4 maps posted on the workshop this month that we believe do something new, cool, or interesting, or are decorated in a beautiful way. Our first choice comes from map creator SofarSofa, with their map Hammer Concept Portable Portal Emitter. This map contains 2 short puzzles, both exploring the concept of having movable portal emitters. In this first segment, we are taught about the movable emitter, and shown how to use it. It's a very simple concept to understand, and this first part does an excellent job of explaining it. Moving into the second chamber, we are introduced to a much larger puzzle, where we have to use the emitter to perform several flings, both of ourselves and of the cube. The timing in this section is just tight enough to feel satisfying, but not so much that it's frustrating to execute. The decoration in this map is also quite nice. For a simple concept map, Sofar put a lot of work into making it look decent. I especially love the fuse box in the first chamber and the vac tube right at the beginning. All in all, I've never seen a map execute an idea like this before. Just goes to show you that even after more than a decade, we're still finding new and interesting concepts to explore in puzzles. Our second map is a co-op puzzle by Christin, named Tractorpult. This is a beautifully decorated map in the art therapy style, with excellent lighting and a nice layout. Hazel, Orsell, and I worked together to figure out the solution for this one. It's a medium-hard puzzle that uses backtracking as a mechanic, although the backtracking always feels earned and understandable. My favorite move is definitely the final section, where you have to essentially go all the way back to the beginning just to get to the exit. Its use of its one sightline faith plate requires you to constantly keep track of where your portals are, and unlike a lot of co-op puzzles I've played, both players consistently have to contribute to the solution. Every move you make is important in this puzzle, and as someone who thoroughly enjoys co-op, it's very refreshing to see. Overall, definitely grab a friend and try out Tractorpult. It's hard, but it's fun, and it feels incredibly satisfying to beat. Our third map comes from creator Portal Bump, also known as Ocelia Flowell, with their map Triple Catcher. This short campaign-style puzzle is decorated using a lightly overgrown style with excellent destruction work. Made in the span of 24 hours, it's definitely a sight to behold. The title of the map is in fact correct. Triple Catcher's puzzle relies on juggling a laser through 3 different laser catchers to help you reach the exit. With incredible attention to detail and a beautiful sunset color scheme, Triple Catcher feels like it was taken right out of a larger mod. Definitely give it a play if you haven't already. Our fourth and final map comes from creator MX, with their map Turret Intro, but with Turret Girls. Yes, you heard that right, and it's exactly what it sounds like. MX's map takes the original Turret Intro and recreates it, replacing all the turrets in the map with Mochi's Turret Girl models. In addition to this, you, the player character, are a Turret Girl too, and you can use your guns to put the other Turret Girls down. This map doesn't bring much new to the table. It's a redux, after all, but it's incredibly fun to use actual guns in Portal 2 rather than just the portal gun. And of course, you get to be a turret girl, which is always fun. In addition, the turret girls can move around and follow you around corners, which is something NPCs can't normally do in base Portal. This map can be solved both with the turret arms you have as well as a normal portal gun. MX provides instructions on how to switch between the two in the description. Make sure to check out this short but fun little map next time you're on the workshop. That's all for my segment. Remember to post your maps in our Discord server for a chance to be featured here, and happy mapping!
Hello everyone, this is Orsell, here to present our second segment, SourceTools and Stuff. In this segment, I'll discuss updates and changes to external tools and libraries, general community modding, and resources for working with the Source Engine, as well as updates for Portal 2 Community Edition. Laura Lewis, known as Craftable Science, has been a major staple of the Source Engine modding community through her work on various projects. We'll start this segment by discussing some of her tools. VBK has received major improvements of its upcoming version 5 update, which can be previewed as the version 5 beta 4 release. Among the many improvements in this release, major changes include significantly increasing parsing speeds for archive files, support for the tool on macOS, Vietnamese, Slovenian, Japanese, and Spanish translations, and support for more file types. The latest build of VBK has also introduced a new plugin system. This system will allow community members to contribute new ways to preview packed file types, making VBK even more flexible for the community. Because this is just a preview version, there will be much more to come in the future releases, so keep an eye out for more VBK updates. Fractal has also recently continued to work on her other tool, MayorTF, a VTF viewer and creator. Recent updates to both the GUI and CLI tools have fixed various bugs and continue to support VTFs from Xbox Series Source Engine titles. She hopes to get a working VTF creation UI for version 1 of MayorTF. SourcePP is a parser library Craftal has created to help develop her tools and provide the community with a way to work with Valve's file formats used in their engine. She has recently updated it to be more Unicode friendly when working with file paths, add support for version 3 of the Valve bitmap font format, and enable compiling each SourcePP module into its own DLL. Craftable has these projects open source and linked on her website, which you can find in the video description below. Lavashik has continued to impress the public with his modding work on Project Capture. Lavashik has gone the extra mile, pouring a lot of time and energy into experimenting with what's possible in the base Portal 2 Source Engine branch. Lavashik's first major implementation was the inclusion of working parallax QMax, something that normally requires engine code access. But by leveraging a leftover customizable shader type, he was able to seamlessly create parallax QMaps and include them in various maps. He has also made PBR materials possible through custom shaders, enabling PBR textures like Lenship 2's Everything PBR pack to work natively in Portal 2. Of course, nothing is one-to-one, as not every PBR texture will work flawlessly with such an old engine. Still, a big breakthrough for those interested. Everything shown is still a major work in progress and is not currently available to the public. But once Project Capture is released, Lavashik plans to release all the tools and processes he has to make this possible. Now for the main attraction, Portal 2 Community Edition. There have been several recent and upcoming changes for when it enters the public beta in around 4 months, including many fixes and updates since the last private stable beta update, which I'll discuss in the following section. AngelScript is a new C# style scripting system implemented in the Stratosource to act as if you were working with the actual engine code. AngelScript is similar to the Squirrel vScript system, but provides access to additional features that vScript doesn't normally offer. AngelScript helps users create scripts for Hammer to create custom brush types, add game features such as custom entities and replace pre-existing ones, add custom console variables and commands, and much more. Since the last update, much more has been added and fixed. The ability to create custom trigger entities, make custom NPCs, player interactions, get key value information from Hammer Place and AngelScript created entities, and many bug fixes. There is a lot to digest with the new AngelScript language and the new features it provides, which is why fellow Source Engine modder and lead developer of Portal Singularity Collapse, Endrick, is helping develop a beginner's guide in the Stratosource wiki to help people start making their first scripts and entities with the new scripting system. AngelScript is still a work in progress system, and there is much more to come before it is released, so stay tuned. In the future, I will make a video tutorial covering getting started with AngelScript, along with various other topics within the system. The next major improvement to Stratosource is further enhancements to its lighting system, including the addition of ground truth ambient occlusion. Revolution creator Stefan Hines showcased a brand new feature on New Year's Day with Rory, who helped implement the lighting system into Stratosource. GTAO is a lighting system that helps give objects depth in the game space when lighting interacts with them. But why should I explain what GTAO is when I can have the man who implemented it himself explain?
Hi, my name is Rory, and I originally joined the Portal Revolution team as a 3D artist and eventually moved to a graphics programmer role, working on the volumetrics for Portal Revolution 1.
What led you to working on the lighting system in SSAO for Strata?
I really enjoy graphics programming, and implementing ambient occlusion presents a similar challenge to the volumetrics. I talked with the other members of the team, and they agreed that some form of real-time ambient occlusion would be beneficial for grounding props in the environment. I would like to continue working on implementing graphical features to make Revolution 2 look as good as possible.
Are you able to give a surface-level explanation as to why SSAO will improve the lighting system for Strata?
Ambient occlusion is the darkening of the crevices of a scene based on how ambient light bounces in real life. Take a coffee mug sitting on a desk. Without ambient occlusion, it can often just look like it's floating, or it can be difficult to tell exactly where it is on the desk because there is no lighting that grounds it to the space. Source does have a baked ambient occlusion system, however it only really works for large brushes with minimal detail, and doesn't work with any sort of dynamic props in the scene. I used the library XEGTAO to implement ground truth ambient occlusion, which is a modern form of ambient occlusion that is tuned to replicate proper ray-traced ambient occlusion without the performance hit of ray tracing.
What do you wish to continue working on for Strata?
There is still a lot of room to improve the ambient occlusion, as it is not quite ready to be used in a full mod. I definitely want to improve the performance, and there is still some artifacting that needs to be ironed out.
Thank you, Rory, for answering my questions and sharing your experience with working on GTAO with StrataSource. If you want more information on GTAO, please check out Stefan's New Year's video, linked below. Last but not least, one of the most anticipated systems for the Portal 2 Community Edition experience is the Workshop's campaign system. One of the main features being implemented in P2C is the ability to create and share custom campaigns on the P2C workshop. But how to play those campaigns and how they are presented are just as important. P2C developers Storm and PivotMan have been hard at work on the brand new design for the P2CE main menu, a new menu flow for current campaign content for Portal 2 and Half-Life 2, and new menus for custom campaigns that give developers flexibility in how they present their campaigns. The cherry on top, controller support for menu interactions and support for various control glyphs, depending on the controller used. Along with the new Panorama menu UI, the long-awaited Half-Life 2 weapon switch UI has been added. So modders can modify the weapon switching HUD alongside other HUD elements that already existed. That's all this month for updates to tools and stuff in the community. If there's anything you'd like me to cover next month, please let me know.
Hi everyone, I'm Hazel Webbs, here to present our third and final segment, Mod Direct. In this section, I'll give you updates on popular mods, map packs, and fan games, as well as presenting our very own PMaM's Mod of the Month. Stay tuned to the end for that one. First up on the itinerary is Revolution, celebrating its 2-year release anniversary in a livestream hosted by its lead developer, Stefan. While we recommend checking out the full VOD as he goes into great detail about the future of Revolution, I do want to highlight a couple of things. Stefan spends a decent chunk of the stream reflecting on the development of the original Revolution, and being glad that Revolution 2 has a more chill, laid-back development cycle. He also states that there will be no major updates in Revolution 1, including no plans for a co-op campaign, as it will be like working on 2 mods at once. He also states that Revolution 2 is a long-term project and does not share any potential release date for the sequel. On top of this, he mentions that there are plans for a native Linux build for Revolution 2, but that there is nothing concrete as of now. The more tools and games made available directly on Linux, the better. Fractal, a Portal-inspired puzzle game all about lasers made by Decrypt, has had a couple of updates this month as well, showcasing a handful of assets, a small sneak peek of the maps, as well as an update to the source-styled UI and video, showcasing the input map UI. They also mentioned that they might be releasing their first public demos sometime in late February to early March, but this date is not set in stone. This is a game that we've been loving the development for, with its cool art style and primary gameplay mechanic being a massive draw. Although Fractal isn't technically a Portal mod, it is Portal inspired, and that's why we're covering it. The final mod that we have updates for this month is Project Capture. While this mod is fairly transparent with its development cycle, I will only be going over stuff that isn't super clearly a work in progress. For example, the Act 2 gameplay teaser. Some of the content showcased in this teaser is a whole host of new assets from emitters to faceplates and other miscellaneous assets. Naturally, if you want to take a look at all of that, go watch the full original video. Project Capture's really been pushing a lot of what was once thought possible in the original Portal 2 game, from shares to general game mechanics like a cube that teleports the player. This is definitely a mod we'll be talking about a lot in the next couple of mod directs. And now, for the final portion of this segment, Ash will be coming back to help me present our January mod of the month.
Thoughts.
Thoughts is a mod for Portal 2 taking place after the events of the original game. You play as an old Atlas bot model from the mid-1980s, woken up by a personality core. For some reason, the old Aperture staff seems to have a vested interest in you. But why?
The story is very heavily tied to robots, the exploration of self, and internal introspection, hence the name. With a cast of androids and mechs that are significantly different from the personality cores we're used to, Thoughts is definitely looking to bring something new to the table.
This mod has a very dark, moody style, using grays and blues to convey a dream-like feel. Mod lead VFlame has mentioned that puzzle difficulty will be slightly higher than the original Portals campaign as well.
Speaking of VFlame, we reached out to him for an interview regarding Thoughts. Here's how that went.
What's the overall theme of Thought's story? What message do y'all wish to tell?
Thoughts attempts to shape the atmosphere in the lab after Chell left the complex. New main character, new antagonist, new allies. The time setting of the mod allows for the most insane and unexpected plot twists, and the narrative can be manipulated in multiple ways. The plot is built around the mystery surrounding the protagonist, the character you play, the prototype of Atlas from 1985. This focus on the main character creates a need to show their will, feelings, and desires. And they are shown to the player through thoughts, windows of the operating system that Atlas 1985 sometimes sees, and this feature, in turn, gave the mod its name. The mod is full of unspoken details, giving you clues and hints bit by bit, which you can piece together to solve the plot like a puzzle. At the end, you can come to your own conclusions about where these thoughts have led you.
What inspired the dark, moody theming of the maps?
The fact that the protagonist is a complete character with their own will, although silent, can be used in interesting ways. For example, by leaving them alone with their thoughts. Almost the entire second chapter, with a couple of exceptions, is dedicated to this narrative experiment, and its oppressive, frightening mood serves to emphasize the feeling of loneliness and obsessive thoughts. Although this feeling is somewhat forgotten in the third chapter, it does not disappear and will return a little later. The result is a game of contrasts, alone versus surrounded by NPCs, dark versus light locations.
Thoughts has been in development for a long time. How has the landscape of its development changed over time?
The mod's development was pretty linear, like map by map. From time to time, I would go back to some maps and add some details, polish them. It's all an iterative process. A big turning point in development for me was the third chapter, and introducing Aperture robotics to the player. To create a new style, I had to learn modeling and texturing. I think it was a worthy price to pay for developing a recognizable style.
You're looking to release later this year. When can we expect a Steam page for this mod?
I am currently awaiting a response from Steamworks support. It is quite possible that the opening of the page will also mark the start of beta testing. As I said, the mod is currently playable from start to finish, but it needs some polishing and some additional content, the remaining voice lines and soundtrack.
Is there any way for people to donate or support your development?
I make mods in my spare time and don't plan on accepting donations at the moment. I think the general support for any non-commercial project is your attention and interest.
Thank you for your time, VFlame. Running on the PGCE engine, Thoughts has been under development for 5 years, but they are finally planning a release date for this year. Their ModDB page and Discord server links will be down in the description, so make sure to check them all out. That concludes this month's Mod Direct. If you don't want to wait a month for the next one, you can get access to all the mods we're keeping an eye on by joining our Discord server in the description. Thank you for joining me, and happy modding!
We hope you enjoyed PMaM's first monthly spotlight. Remember to like and comment and subscribe to stay tuned for February. We're also still posting tutorials once a week on this channel. We posted one yesterday about Wheatley style mapping, so follow along to expand your hammer knowledge. We'll see you next month! Big thanks to VFlame, Craftable Science, Rory, Storm, and Pivotman, as well as the entire Stratosource team for answering our questions and taking the time to help us out this month. Everything we talked about will be available in the description. Thanks for joining us.